The vast observation chamber aboard the Centauri Alliance's flagship hummed with nervous energy as hundreds of alien diplomats gathered for an emergency session. The metallic walls, lined with shimmering displays of star charts and data streams, reflected the tense atmosphere among the assembled representatives. Admiral Jinho Park stood before the massive holographic display, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of Earth's rotating image. His silver uniform, adorned with the markings of the Alliance's highest military rank, seemed to absorb the ambient light as he moved through his presentation. "Let me show you something disturbing," he said, his voice carrying across the chamber. With a wave of his hand, the hologram transformed into a timeline of human technological advancement. "Look at this progression carefully." The display showed Earth's journey from simple radio signals to advanced computing in just over a century. Murmurs of concern rippled through the assembled aliens as they watched humanity leap from primitive combustion engines to the threshold of quantum technology in what seemed like the blink of an eye. Counselor Hawan Li leaned forward in her seat, her scaled fingers tapping against the smooth surface of her console. As the representative of the Centauri Alliance's most powerful faction, her opinion carried significant weight. The light caught the iridescent patterns on her face as she studied the data with growing concern. "This is unprecedented," she announced, rising from her seat. The chamber fell silent as all eyes turned to her. "In all our recorded history, no species has ever advanced at such a rate. It took the Centauri Alliance 5 millennia to achieve quantum stability. These humans," she paused, gesturing at the display, "they're on track to reach that level in less than a century." Development Officer Sumin Kang, known for his cautious approach to emerging civilizations, activated his communication panel. The elderly alien's tentacles waved in agitation as he spoke. "The implications are clear. If we allow this unchecked advancement to continue, they could surpass our technological level within their own lifetimes. The potential for destabilization is enormous." Admiral Park nodded gravely and switched the display to show Earth's military developments. "They've already developed weapons we hadn't conceived of at their technological level. Their creative approach to problem-solving makes them unpredictable. And now, they're beginning to look to the stars." The chamber erupted in concerned discussions as representatives from various systems debated the implications. Some argued for immediate containment, while others suggested more diplomatic approaches. The noise grew until Counselor Li raised her hand for silence. "We've seen this pattern before," she reminded them. "The Proxima incident nearly destroyed 3 systems when we allowed an emerging civilization to advance too quickly. We cannot risk another such catastrophe." The voting process was swift and decisive. Green lights flickered across the chamber as member after member supported the motion for intervention. Admiral Park watched the unanimous decision with a mixture of relief and concern. He knew the humans wouldn't accept restrictions easily, but the alternative, allowing them unrestricted development, seemed far more dangerous. Senior Envoy Dae-Sung Kim was summoned to the chamber. His reputation for handling difficult diplomatic situations made him the obvious choice for first contact. He studied the briefing materials with growing interest as Admiral Park explained the mission. "We need to approach this carefully," Kim said, reviewing the cultural data. "Humans are proud and independent. They won't accept restrictions without resistance. Then we must make them understand the consequences of refusal." Counselor Li interjected. "Prepare your team, Envoy Kim. You have 1 standard cycle to make contact and present our terms." As the chamber began to empty, Admiral Park pulled Kim aside. "Be careful with this species," he warned. "There's something about them that doesn't quite fit our usual patterns. They're different somehow." Kim nodded, but his confidence was evident. After all, he had handled first contact with dozens of emerging civilizations. How different could these humans really be? As the diplomatic team prepared their ships for the journey to Earth, none of them noticed the small anomaly in their quantum readings, a tiny fluctuation that suggested humanity might be even more advanced than they realized. It would be the first of many overlooked warnings that would eventually lead to one of the greatest miscalculations in the history of the Centauri Alliance. The massive ships powered up their engines, their quantum drives humming with energy as they prepared to make the jump to Earth's solar system. The mission to contain humanity's rapid advancement was about to begin, but the outcome would be far different from anything the Alliance could have predicted. The Grand Assembly Hall in Geneva fell silent as the massive alien ships appeared in the sky above the city. Their arrival cast long shadows over the historic buildings, a physical representation of the darkness that had fallen over humanity's future. The United Earth Council members watched through the tall windows as smaller vessels descended, their sleek surfaces reflecting the morning sun. Senior Envoy Dae-Sum Kim stood before the assembled human leaders, his tall, otherworldly form towering over the podium. The metallic sheen of his diplomatic uniform caught the light as he moved, creating patterns that drew every eye in the room. "This is non-negotiable," he stated, his translated voice filling the chamber. "Your species advances too quickly. It poses a threat to galactic stability. You must accept our oversight and restrictions, or face complete isolation behind our barrier technology." President Han Jae-choi stood at her podium, her knuckles white from gripping its edges. Years of diplomatic experience helped her maintain a calm expression, but inside, her mind raced with possibilities. Behind her, Defense Minister Ta Woo-park carefully activated his quantum tablet, disguising it as a simple note-taking device while recording every detail of the alien technology on display. "You come to our world," President Choi responded, her voice steady, demanding we halt our progress. "What gives you this right?" The alien envoy's expression remained unchanged. "We have overseen the development of countless civilizations. This is for your own protection, as much as galactic stability." As the confrontation unfolded in Geneva, deep beneath the streets of Seoul, in the basement labs of the Korean Advanced Science Institute, Dr. Jae-Yun Song hunched over her quantum resonance scanner. The device hummed softly as it analyzed the energy signatures from the alien ships overhead. "There's something odd about these readings," she muttered, adjusting the scanner settings. Her colleague, Dr. Min-Ki Lee, leaned over her shoulder, his eyes widening as he saw the patterns emerging on the screen. "The pattern," she whispered, excitement creeping into her voice. "Look at these energy fluctuations. There's a fundamental flaw in their barrier technology." Back in Geneva, the alien envoy activated a holographic display, showing the proposed barrier that would enclose Earth's solar system. "This technology has contained numerous civilizations. It is completely impenetrable and will remain in place until we determine you are ready for unrestricted development." Defense Minister Park's tablet silently recorded every frequency, every energy signature the aliens unknowingly displayed. His years of military intelligence training helped him maintain a passive expression, while his device gathered crucial data. In the Seoul lab, Dr. Song began running simulations. Their entire containment system relies on stable quantum fields, she explained to Dr. Lee, pointing to specific parts of the data stream. "But look here, they're using a standardized frequency pattern." They never considered that quantum fields could be deliberately destabilized. "You're saying we could break their barrier?" Dr. Lee asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Not just break it," Dr. Song replied, her eyes shining with discovery. "We could potentially create a cascading failure that would affect all their quantum-based technology." The Geneva meeting continued as the alien envoy outlined the restrictions. No more quantum research, limited space exploration, controlled technological development. Each demand felt like another nail in humanity's coffin. President Choi maintained her diplomatic composure, but her mind was already formulating plans. "We will need time to consider your proposals," she said carefully. "Such significant changes to human development require careful consideration." The alien envoy inclined his head slightly. "You have 1 Earth week to provide your answer. Remember, this is not a negotiation. It is an ultimatum." As the meeting concluded, Defense Minister Park quietly transmitted the recorded data to secure servers around the world. Within hours, scientists like Dr. Song and Dr. Lee would be analyzing every detail, looking for weaknesses, searching for hope. The aliens departed as dramatically as they had arrived, their ships rising silently into the sky. They left behind a world in turmoil, but also a world united in secret determination. In labs and military installations across the globe, humans began working together, sharing data, testing theories. Dr. Song worked through the night, her excitement growing as each new test confirmed her initial findings. The aliens' technology, for all its advancement, had a critical weakness. They had never faced a species that developed quantum technology in such an unusual way. Human innovation, born of their rapid advancement, had led them down paths the aliens had never considered. As dawn broke over Seoul, Dr. Song finally looked up from her work, a smile spreading across her face. The aliens thought they were containing a primitive species. Instead, they had just challenged humanity to do what it did best: find a way to overcome impossible odds. Hidden beneath the ancient volcanic peak of Mount Pektu, a secret facility buzzed with frantic energy. The deep underground labs, carved into solid rock, housed some of humanity's brightest minds working against an impossible deadline. While the world above put on a show of debate and indecision for their alien visitors, the real work happened in shadows. Dr. Jae-Yun Song stood before a massive quantum interference array, its blue-white glow casting strange shadows on the reinforced walls. Her team had worked for 5 straight days, stopping only when exhaustion threatened to compromise their calculations. The dark circles under their eyes testified to their dedication. "Run the simulation again," she ordered, her voice hoarse from too many hours of discussions. "Adjust the frequency by 0.03%. The massive screens lining the lab walls lit up with cascading data. Energy patterns shifted and flowed like digital rivers, each one representing a potential weakness in the aliens' supposedly impenetrable technology. Commander Yumho Ryo entered the lab, accompanied by Chief Scientist Do-Hyun Kang. The military officer's presence added gravity to the already tense atmosphere. His uniform, bearing the newly created Earth Defense Force insignia, seemed out of place among the scientists' casual attire. "Show me what you found," Commander Ryu said, his eyes fixed on the dancing patterns of light. Dr. Song activated the main holographic display, bringing up a 3-dimensional model of the alien barrier technology. "Their entire technological framework depends on stable quantum fields," she explained, highlighting specific sections of the projection. "They've been using this technology for thousands of years, refining it to near perfection. But perfection has made them predictable," added Dr. Min-Ki Lee from his workstation. "Every system they use follows the same basic quantum principles." Commander Ryu leaned forward, his interest clearly piqued. "And our new quantum interference technology could disrupt their entire network," Chief Scientist Kang finished, pointing to a simulation running on a side screen. "They never considered that quantum fields could be deliberately destabilized. It's like they built the perfect lock, but never imagined someone would attack the door itself." The simulation showed waves of energy rippling through the alien barrier, creating cascading failures that spread like cracks in glass. Each failure point triggered others, multiplying the effect exponentially. "How confident are you in these results?" Commander Ryu asked, studying the data with intense focus. Dr. Song walked to a sealed chamber in the corner of the lab. Inside, a small-scale version of the alien barrier technology hummed softly, maintained by captured energy signatures from the alien ships. "We've tested it 15 times, she said, activating their prototype interference device. "Watch." The miniature barrier flickered, then collapsed completely as waves of quantum interference washed through it. The effect was beautiful in its destructive efficiency. "The best part," Dr. Lee added, "is that they won't see it coming. Their monitoring systems are designed to detect stable quantum fields. Our interference patterns will look like background noise until it's too late." Commander Ryu nodded slowly, years of military experience helping him grasp the strategic implications. How long until you can scale this up? We need 3 more days to finish the full-scale prototypes, Dr. Song replied. We're building them in segments to avoid detection. The alien surveillance can't penetrate this deep into the mountain, but we're not taking chances. In another corner of the lab, technicians assembled components that looked deceptively simple. When combined, they would form a network of quantum interference generators capable of challenging the most advanced civilization humanity had ever encountered. The world governments are stalling for time, Commander Ryu informed them. The aliens seem to be growing impatient. We need this ready before they decide to act unilaterally. Dr. Song looked at her team, seeing the same determination reflected in every face. We'll be ready, she promised. They thought they were containing a primitive species. Instead, they'd given us the key to their undoing. The commander allowed himself a small smile. Keep working. I'll inform the Joint Command that Operation Breakthrough remains on schedule. As he left, the scientists returned to their tasks with renewed energy. In labs like this one, hidden beneath mountains, beneath oceans, and in abandoned mines across the globe, humanity prepared its response to the alien ultimatum. The public debates above ground served their purpose, keeping their visitors focused on diplomatic channels while the real work continued in secret. Dr. Song checked her watch, marking another hour in their race against time. Soon, very soon, the aliens would learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in its technology, but in its ability to think differently, to find solutions where others saw only obstacles. The quantum interference device hummed quietly in its testing chamber, a simple machine that would change the balance of power in the galaxy. The surface of the moon offered a perfect view of humanity's impending imprisonment. Captain Mayray Park stood at the reinforced windows of Luna Base's observation deck, watching as hundreds of alien ships moved into position around Earth's solar system. Their massive vessels glowed with otherworldly energy as they began constructing the containment barrier. Beautiful, in a terrifying way, her second-in-command whispered, tracking the geometric patterns forming between the ships. The barrier looked like a giant spider web made of light, each strand pulsing with quantum energy as it spread across space. Through her enhanced visor, Captain Park monitored the energy readings. The aliens worked with precise coordination, each ship adding its section to the growing lattice. They moved with the confidence of a species that had performed this operation many times before. Status update from Earth Command, the communications officer announced. Operation Breakthrough is in final position. All stations report ready. Captain Park acknowledged with a slight nod, keeping her eyes fixed on the alien construction project. Years of military training helped her maintain a calm exterior, but her heart raced with anticipation. Everything depended on the next few hours. Deep beneath Mount Pektu, Dr. Jai-Yun Song made final adjustments to the quantum interference device. The machine hummed softly, its power barely contained by the reinforced chambers. Around her, technicians monitored streams of data, each person aware of their role in humanity's greatest gambit. All interference nodes report ready, Technician Jun Seo Lee announced, his fingers hovering over the activation controls. Global network synchronized. Dr. Song took a deep breath, remembering all the simulations, all the tests that led to this moment. Send the signal, she ordered, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. Jun Seo's fingers danced across the controls. Across the planet, hidden quantum interference devices activated simultaneously. Their effect was subtle at first, almost undetectable against the background noise of space. Aboard the alien command ship, Admiral Jin-Ho Park observed the barrier's construction with satisfaction. Centuries of experience had taught the Centauri Alliance how to contain developing civilizations. This barrier would stand for decades, ensuring humanity developed along approved paths. The first warning sign appeared as a slight shimmer in the barrier's eastern quadrant. A junior officer reported the anomaly, but Admiral Park dismissed it with a wave. Normal variance, he declared. The quantum fields always fluctuate during initial construction. But the fluctuations didn't stop. They grew stronger, spreading through the barrier like ripples in a pond. On Luna Base, Captain Park watched through her visor as the perfect geometric patterns began to waver. Energy destabilization detected in multiple sectors, the alien command ship's systems reported. Admiral Park frowned, finally giving the disturbance his full attention. This was not normal variance. The effect was immediate. Alarms blared on every alien vessel as their sensors suddenly detected the impossible. A human warship that dwarfed their largest vessels, bristling with weapons that shouldn't exist for centuries by their estimates. Multiple target locks from alien vessels, Commander Kang reported, her voice tight with excitement. They're trying to get a weapons solution, but our countermeasures are confusing their targeting systems. The alien ships scrambled to respond, their formations breaking as they tried to adjust to this unexpected threat. Captain Song watched their panicked movements with satisfaction. 3 months of watching them lord their superiority over humanity was about to end. "Open a channel to the alien flagship," she ordered. "Let's introduce ourselves properly." The main screen flickered to life, showing High Commander Rel's face. His iridescent skin was showing patterns of shock and fear that no human had seen before. "This is Captain Song Min-ji of the Earth Force ship Prometheus," she announced, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's hidden power. "Your sensors are not malfunctioning. What you see is real." "Impossible," Rel stammered, his usual condescension replaced by naked fear. "Your species. You don't have this technology. You couldn't hide this from us." "Actually," Captain Song replied, allowing herself another small smile, "we've been hiding a lot more than just one ship." As if on cue, more ships began dropping their stealth systems. Destroyers, cruisers, and battleships appeared throughout the solar system, each one representing decades of secret development and preparation. Multiple alien vessels powering up weapons, Commander Kang reported calmly. "Let them," Captain Song responded. "Activate our shield matrix. Show them what humanity is really capable of." The Prometheus's shields flickered to life, not the primitive barriers the aliens expected, but an advanced energy field that incorporated technologies they thought impossible for humans to understand. High Commander Rel's skin had turned a pale, sickly color. How long have you been hiding this?" "Long enough," Captain Song answered. "Long enough to learn from every piece of alien technology that crashed on our planet. Long enough to improve upon designs you thought we couldn't comprehend. Long enough to prepare for this moment." The alien ships hung motionless in space, their crews frozen in shock as humanity's true power was finally revealed. The game of pretense was over. The galaxy would never see humanity the same way again. And aboard the Prometheus's bridge, Captain Song watched with quiet satisfaction as decades of deception gave way to humanity's moment of emergence. The real show of force was about to begin. The silence of space was shattered as the Tavor battle fleet emerged from quantum space near Mars. 3 warships, the same ones that had destroyed the Meridian colony, moved into attack formation. Their weapons powered up, ready to continue their campaign of terror against what they thought was a defenseless humanity. Multiple hostile contacts detected. Commander Kang announced on the Prometheus's bridge. "They're charging weapon systems. Looks like they're planning to finish what they started." Captain Song Min-ji's eyes narrowed as she watched the tactical display. The Tavor ships moved with arrogant confidence, clearly expecting no resistance. They had no idea they were flying straight into humanity's trap. "Open all frequencies," she ordered. "Let's give them one chance to surrender." The communications officer nodded, and Captain Song's voice echoed across every channel, in every ship, and through every comm system in the solar system. "This is Captain Song Min-ji of the Earth Force ship Prometheus. The attack on Meridian Colony constitutes an act of war against humanity. You will stand down immediately." The Tavor ships froze mid-maneuver. Their sensors, finally detecting the massive human warship, must have been sending impossible readings to their crews. The lead ship's captain, recovering from the shock, made a fatal mistake. He ordered his weapons to target the Prometheus. "They're powering up their main guns," Commander Kang reported calmly. "Targeting solutions locked on our position." Captain Song nodded. "Show them why that's a bad idea. Target their lead ship's engine core. Minimal power, surgical precision." The Prometheus's main cannon, a marvel of reversed engineered technology and human innovation, hummed to life. The weapon was designed not just for destruction, but for precision. A single shot lanced out across space, a beam of focused energy that pierced the Tavor ship's shields like they weren't even there. The alien vessel's engines died instantly, leaving it drifting helplessly in space. No explosion, no destruction. Just a perfect demonstration of superior technology and control. In the UN delegation chamber back on Earth, High Commander Rel watched the tactical displays with growing horror. His skin had turned a pale, sickly color as more human ships appeared throughout the solar system. Each vessel represented technology that his people had deemed impossible for humans to possess. "How many ships are there?" one of the alien delegates whispered, their voice trembling. The answer came as more stealth systems deactivated. Destroyers, cruisers, battleships. Hundreds of vessels revealing themselves across the solar system. Each one was a testament to humanity's true capabilities, each one armed with weapons that could render the alien fleet helpless without destroying them. Back on the Prometheus, Captain Song watched as the remaining Tavor ships attempted to retreat. Their quantum drives spun up, preparing to flee, only to find themselves trapped by quantum inhibitor fields that humanity wasn't supposed to have for centuries. The other facilities report all ships are in position. Lieutenant Han announced, "We have complete coverage of the solar system." Captain Song nodded. "Send word to all ships, disable only. We're not here to destroy them. We're here to educate them." The next few minutes were a demonstration of precision and power that left the alien delegation speechless. Human ships moved with impossible speed and grace, their weapons firing with surgical accuracy. Each shot disabled rather than destroyed. Each maneuver demonstrated mastery of technologies the aliens thought beyond human understanding. In the delegation chamber, High Commander Rel's skin patterns showed pure terror as he watched his people's ships rendered helpless one by one. The other delegates, who had laughed at humanity's supposed primitive nature just days ago, sat in stunned silence. "This is impossible," Rel whispered. You were struggling with basic spaceflight. Your ships could barely reach your moon." Ambassador Li Jisoo, who had quietly entered the chamber during the demonstration, smiled coldly. "We showed you exactly what we wanted you to see, High Commander. Perhaps next time, you'll be more careful about making assumptions about species you consider primitive." The tactical displays told the story. In less than 10 minutes, every Tavor ship had been disabled. No lives lost, no ships destroyed, just a perfect demonstration of overwhelming technological superiority. Captain Song's voice came over the comm system again, addressing not just the disabled ships, but the entire alien delegation. "This demonstration is concluded. Let me be clear. Humanity has been preparing for this moment for generations. We have studied your technology, improved upon it, and developed our own innovations. We chose to hide our true capabilities, and you chose to believe in our weakness." She paused, letting her words sink in. "The next demonstration will not be so gentle. Remember this moment. Remember what humanity is capable of when provoked. And remember, we showed you only what we wanted you to see." In the delegation chamber, as the aliens processed the full implications of what they had witnessed, Ambassador Li stood up. "I believe," she said calmly, "it's time to renegotiate the terms of our relationship with the galactic community." None of the alien delegates dared to disagree. The airlock cycled with a soft hiss as Commander Kang Haijin and her boarding team prepared to enter the disabled Tavor vessel. Their advanced combat suits, another piece of technology humanity had kept hidden, made them look more like beings of light and shadow than human soldiers. "Remember," she said to her team through their quantum-linked comms, "we're here to secure the ship and its crew, not to seek revenge." Show them what human discipline looks like. The inner doors opened, revealing the Tavor ship's main corridor. The alien crew had already gathered there, their earlier aggression replaced by obvious fear. Their captain, a tall figure with crystalline growths along its spine, stepped forward with trembling hands raised in surrender. We submit to your authority," the alien captain said, its translator struggling to convey the proper tone of submission. "Please, we had no idea." Commander Kang held up a hand, silencing him. "Your weapons, all of them. Now." The Tavor crew quickly disarmed themselves, placing their weapons on the deck. Some of them couldn't stop staring at the humans' combat suits, clearly recognizing technologies they thought impossible for Earth to possess. "Your ship's data cores will be secured," Commander Kang announced, her voice firm, but not cruel. "Your crew will be treated according to Earth's military protocols for prisoners of war. Those responsible for the attack on Meridian Colony will face justice." Meanwhile, in the United Nations delegation chamber on Earth, a very different scene was unfolding. Ambassador Lee Jisoo sat at the head of the table, a position that would have been unthinkable just days ago. The alien delegates, once so dismissive of humanity, now watched her with a mixture of fear and newfound respect. High Commander Rel, his skin still showing patterns of distress, sat at the far end of the table, a deliberate reversal of their previous seating arrangement. The other delegates had unconsciously shifted their chairs away from him, already distancing themselves from the Tavor Dominion's actions. "Let us be clear about what happens next," Ambassador Lee said, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's revealed power. "The attack on Meridian Colony will be investigated. Those responsible will face justice, and the terms of humanity's relationship with the galactic community will be significantly revised." One of the delegates, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, spoke up. "We had no knowledge of the Tavor's plans. We wish to establish separate diplomatic relations with Earth." "Of course you do," Ambassador Lee replied with a slight smile. "Now that you've seen what we're capable of, everyone wants to be humanity's friend." Reports continued to come in from across the solar system. Commander Kang's teams had secured all 3 Tavor vessels, their crews offering no resistance. The ship's data cores revealed everything. The planned attacks, the contempt for human life, the assumption that Earth would be helpless to respond. The Meridian Colony attack was meant to be the first of many, Ambassador Lee announced, displaying the recovered data. The Tavor Dominion planned to systematically destroy human settlements throughout the solar system. They believed we would be forced to accept their dominion over our space. High Commander Rel's skin patterns showed shame and fear in equal measure. We were wrong about your species. Horrifically wrong." "Yes," Ambassador Lee agreed coldly, "you were. And now you'll face the consequences of that mistake. But first, let's discuss the new reality of Earth's position in the galactic community." She activated a holographic display showing the full extent of humanity's hidden fleet. Hundreds of ships, each incorporating technologies that the aliens thought beyond human understanding, positioned throughout the solar system. The delegates shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "Earth will take its place as a full member of the galactic community," Ambassador Lee continued, "not as a primitive species to be studied or exploited, but as equals. Those who treated us with contempt will learn the price of their arrogance." Commander Kang's voice came through on a secure channel, reporting from the captured Tavor flagship. "Ambassador, we've secured all vessels and prisoners. The data cores confirm everything. They never suspected our true capabilities." "Of course they didn't," Ambassador Lee replied, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. "They were too busy looking down on us to look behind them. A mistake they won't make again." The delegation chamber, once a place of alien condescension, had become the site of humanity's diplomatic triumph. The balance of power had shifted, not through destruction or dominance, but through the revelation of carefully hidden strength. As night fell over the United Nations building, the aliens left the chamber with a new understanding of humanity. They had come expecting to find a primitive species barely worthy of notice. They had found instead a civilization that had mastered deception on a solar system scale, hiding its true power until the perfect moment to reveal it. The reckoning had come, and with it, the galaxy would never be the same. The stars shone brightly against the void of space as Admiral Park Jin-woo stood on the Prometheus's observation deck. 1 year had passed since humanity revealed its true strength to the galaxy, and now he watched as Earth prepared to take its rightful place among the stars. The diplomatic vessel carrying Earth's first official delegation to the Galactic Council gleamed in the sunlight, its hull incorporating the same advanced materials that had helped keep humanity's fleet hidden for so long. Captain Song Minji's Prometheus would escort them, a quiet reminder of the power that lurked behind Earth's newfound diplomatic status. Hard to believe how much has changed in just 1 year, Commander Kang Hai-jin said, joining the Admiral at the window. She had earned multiple commendations for her handling of the Tavor shipboardings, showing the galaxy that humanity could be both powerful and merciful. The rebuilding of Meridian Colony is almost complete, Admiral Park noted, watching as Mars grew smaller in the distance. The new colony dome was stronger than ever, protected by defense systems that no longer needed to be hidden. The Galactic Council had changed dramatically since humanity's emergence. The Tavor Dominion's influence had crumbled after their failed attack, their leadership facing justice for their crimes. Other species, once dismissive of humanity, now sought alliance and trade agreements with Earth. I received an interesting report this morning, Commander Kang said with a slight smile. Some of the younger species in the galaxy have started studying Earth's history. They're particularly interested in how we managed to hide our true capabilities for so long. Admiral Park chuckled. Let them study. They might learn something about patience and planning. We spent generations preparing, watching, learning. While they saw what they expected to see, we built something they never imagined possible. Through the window, they could see the diplomatic vessel begin its quantum jump sequence. The technology, once thought beyond human understanding, now served as a normal part of Earth's space operations. Captain Song's voice came over the comm system, calm and professional as always. Prometheus ready for escort duty, Admiral. We'll make sure Earth's delegation arrives safely. The stars seemed to bend as the ships engaged their quantum drives. This journey would take them further than any official human delegation had ever traveled, to the heart of galactic civilization. But this time, humanity would arrive not as supplicants, but as equals. They never saw us coming, Commander Kang reflected, watching the quantum wake dissipate. They were so convinced of their superiority, they forgot one simple truth. Never underestimate humanity, Admiral Park replied, smiling as the ships disappeared into the darkness of space. We're quite good at surprising those who underestimate us. The story of humanity's emergence spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On countless worlds, in countless languages, people told the tale of the species that had hidden its true nature until the perfect moment. Some spoke of it with admiration, others with fear, but all with respect. The Meridian Colony attack, meant to demonstrate humanity's weakness, had instead revealed its strength, not just in technology or military might, but in patience, planning, and the ability to play a long game that spanned generations. Young officers in alien fleets studied the footage of the Prometheus's first revelation, analyzing how a supposedly primitive species had managed to build and hide such advanced technology. Diplomatic academies added new courses on human strategic thinking, teaching future ambassadors to look beyond appearances. In the rebuilt Meridian Colony, a memorial stood to those lost in the attack. But alongside it stood something else, a museum showcasing the history of humanity's secret space program. Visitors from across the galaxy came to learn how Earth had managed to hide its true capabilities for so long. Admiral Park turned from the window as the last traces of the quantum wake faded from view. Commander, he said, send word to all facilities. Operation Prometheus is officially complete. We can finally stop hiding. Commander Kang nodded, but there was a knowing look in her eyes. "Sir, do you really think we've revealed everything?" The Admiral's smile widened slightly. "Commander, if there's one thing humanity has learned, it's that it's always good to keep a few surprises in reserve. The galaxy may think they've seen all we can do, but—" He left the sentence unfinished, but Commander Kang understood. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not through brute force, but through patience, planning, and the wisdom to know when to reveal its strength. And perhaps, just perhaps, they still had a few more surprises waiting for the right moment. As the Prometheus continued its patrol of the solar system, now openly displaying the power it had hidden for so long, Admiral Park couldn't help but feel proud. Humanity had proven itself not just technologically advanced, but strategically brilliant. They had changed the galaxy not through conquest, but through revelation. The new era had begun, and humanity was ready for whatever challenges it might bring.